Hello everybody, welcome to A Bass Guy Show. This is episode 1615. Hello to M on the chat board and hello to Frankie MacDonald. Please type the number 1 if this is working. I'm getting a shock on the microphone. We just spent a year getting new electrics in the building. The whole entire building grounded and everything, and billions of dollars and floods, and everything's fixed. And I'm getting a shock on my lips. It's weird. I'll figure out why later. So welcome to the shoe. M is here on the chat board, and M is for Miles Davis night. We're going to play the entire album tonight of Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. Bill Evans, the pianist. I said pianist, Larry. Don't forget to vote on Monday, big election in Canada. Yes, we have to vote the Flying Monkeys away. That's why I am voting for Frankie MacDonald for President of the Universe. Can you type 1 if this is working? Because I have no idea if this is working. I'm alone in the studio here. It says waiting for Bass Guy, so I'm assuming it's working and just no one has bothered to type. Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's working. No one typed 1. That's all. So we have coverage. You're supposed to type 1 like this. Look, unless I'm like in the past or something. Thank you to Jarrell. At the beginning of the show, if you ever watch, all I need is a number 1, and then I know it's streaming, because often there's so many buttons. There's about 5,000 buttons. Anyways, my name is Jack. I'm live here in Montreal. I'm going to play to some loops, to some backing tracks that I made myself, and loops that I'm doing myself, and maybe either some other backing tracks. I don't know if you know the album Kind of Blue by Miles Davis. It's the best-selling jazz record of all time. And you have Cannonball Adderley on it, and John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Bill Evans. Is it Paul Chambers? I didn't do my research on it. I haven't been practicing or anything. But there's all blues. They're all like modal tunes. There's Impressions, which is, well, so what? Impressions. Flamenco Sketches. Freddie the Freeloader. And you might recognize some of it. So we're just going to chill out. And you can see here in the video pane, I'm going to go on automatic pilot here. We have a new setup. And this is how I'm going to do the show from now on. So if you see in the up right-hand corner here, that's as big as I'm going to get. Less face and more bass. The microphone has been changed. I got my fancy microphone. I do still have the full cams if I need them as an emergency. So I've got them down here. Let me press stop to automatic.
I like to just start with music sometimes, but sometimes I need to explain things too. There is a microphone. The fancy microphone is down here. I can actually just show that here. So there's a fancy mic down here, and it goes through a bunch of different things. That'll be for acoustic guitar and percussion. The stage mic isn't as, of course, it doesn't sound as good, but I get feedback in the room because I don't use headphones. That's why when you go to see a real live band, they use a stage mic because it only picks up, a couple of inches in front of the microphone itself.
So I won't get feedback that way. And if I forget to microphone for whatever reason, we're watching Sky of the Universe as well on the side here. And yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on fixing the chat, fixing the graphics, fixing all the bases, all the wires. It's an 18-hour job, 364 days a year. Even on Christmas Day, Hanukkah, whatever, I'm still doing it. Frankie for Cape Breton. Thank you, M. Hi, Bass Guy. Can you please play the song about rainbows and maybe Couche-Tard song? So you want Moonbeam Rainbow Dolphin Kiss. And I am getting shocks on the microphone. It's quite dangerous. In Europe, if you get a shock like that, if you touch your guitar and you get a shock from the microphone, you can die. Especially over in Europe, because their voltage is 240. Over here, it's only 120. So that was the first thing when I went to music college. I did go to music school and ended up teaching at the school I went to 10 years later, Perth College University. And the first thing, I think his name was Duncan, taught me that he had a friend he gigged with, and he died on stage. He touched his lips on the microphone and he died from electric shock instantly. You can get a little plug, which I do have set up already. It's a breaker switch. So anyways, I'm heavering shite. Today is Miles Davis night because I just thought about what am I going to do this week? And I thought, well, we'll do Miles Davis. We're going to have Frankie MacDonald on as well. So, yeah, Moonbeam. Everybody asked for Moonbeam Rainbow Dolphin Kiss. So I'll play the video and the song for you later on. I haven't done it in maybe about 2 years. Been going through a lot. My brother passed away. I had 3 brothers, and they all passed away before I turned 50. And I got flooded, and, well, the main thing is loss, right? So, been doing a lot of Carl Jung work over the last 15 years. Been doing shadow work deeply. Eckhart Tolle. Stuff like that. Mostly Carl Jung and Dostoevsky. I've been reading a lot lately. The guy in the basement. That's basically me. And I made a thing here I wanted to show you.
Those are just little transitions I made. And also here, if I can show you, there's a window here, and I made a window frame, and then the window frame is, you can't really tell because it's too far away, but some things from the Bass Guy show, like you can see the bird feeder is right there, very faintly. And different things, I like the city behind there, but different things will show up. Some funny things at the end, so keep your eye on the window frame. We have a hallway of Sky of the Universe.
And we're watching Sky of the Universe videos right here in the panel. So I was just going to start the show, but here's Pat. And we're going to have Frankie MacDonald in about 1 hour, so stick around. Frankie MacDonald live, maybe Sky of the Universe. And here's our friend Sky of the Universe. His name is Pat, and he's a documenter and a YouTuber in Montreal. And he's on his bike.
Record year. And just goes to show you how.
And thank you, everybody, for being here. Let's have a round of applause for Joel M. and Frankie MacDonald. Please share this and let people know. I don't have any social media, so please help out. Thank you.
Rain lately, you can't really see because it's night, but the grass is not very green. So hopefully we'll get some rain and decent weather to give us some nice grass, you know. Here, we're almost into Verdun already. There's an old structure, and there's a newer structure.
So I lost the still that I made. Sorry about that. Larry, can you at least take it off the frickin' screen? If you want to help the show, visit bassguyshow.com, and there's a million ways you can help out there. Thank you very much. Let's do the whole kind of blue Miles Davis album. I was going to ask if someone wants to help. I forget the order of the songs. If someone could look up Miles Davis Kind of Blue, it's an album called Miles Davis Kind of Blue, the most famous jazz album of all time.
One of the things I would like to eventually get is a GoPro.
If someone could print out the song list for me. I believe it starts with All Blues, which is one of the first jazz songs I ever learned in my life. So let's try it out. This time we're going to do all blues. It's usually in 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But we're going to do it in 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or 6 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm nobody. I'm just jamming. I have spinal damage. My back is all fucked up. I'm not a bass guy. I'm not even Jack Casey. I'm just a protoplasm ball of flesh. I'm a nobody. I'm a CUN. You know, I'm a nothing. And I'm not, putting myself down. I'm just here, and I'm doing what I do. And everyone is equal and worthy of themselves at all times from birth to death. So be yourself, be good to people and yourself, and play all blues.
it's honest. And I don't try.
It moves, fella.
I guess they change.
So there's some jazz confusion for you. Trying new things here all the time, adjusting everything, but I think we're getting it the way I'm getting it the way I like it. Less face, more bass. It's more about music. There's a speaker in the corner to remind people that music is audio, that people watch music. I'm going to try to be nice from now on because there's no point in fighting everything because it's one life and whatever. I'll just avoid everything and play music. Or, as a famous novelist from Russia once said, avoid the society of things you could easily have and exhaust yourself with physical labor when you feel a strong desire. Hello to Gary. Hello to Trumpy, I think. Hi, Bass Guy. Really enjoy the Bass Guy live radio bird feeder. Cam, keep it up. Yeah, thank you. I had a few trolls. They're actually not trolls. You know who you are if you're watching. But some people kind of don't know what boundaries are. And some people cross boundaries. That's what trolls do for a living. But some people do it unintentionally. They're young. They're learning. But, you know. Thank you, Pat, for letting me show your videos. I don't know where Pat and John are tonight. But that's okay. Like I said, this is episode 1008,015,000,015. So, hello to Bunny Crusher from Scotland. Furry boots, pal. I'm not too bad. Like, I miss Glasgow. Glasgow was really good to me. I played 4 nights a week in blues bands, jazz bands, folk bands all over the world with the Grouse. Had a lot of good fun. I could show you any of it. I got video here. So we're playing music of Miles Davis tonight. The first song was So What, and I did it in 11 time, like 6/8 and then 5/4. And let's take a look at the Bass Guy show 10 years ago. 10 years ago next week. So this is April 29th, 2015. That's how long a bass, and before that, I was streaming for 2 years before that on a platform called Concert Window and then Periscope, but Concert Window was the first one. And we had different characters call into the show. So here's a Bass Guy show 10 years ago, basically today.
Bailed on me, and then again with the show this morning, maybe I missed the beginning, you didn't hear that part, but whatever, like.
So Bass Guy was doing the cheesy green screening that TikTok does for you without any technology or know-how. We actually had green material sent to us from Chicky Mickey. I still got it, 1,000,000 yards that can cover the whole room and ceiling, like more than you can imagine. It was a lot of work. Now you just go click.
Like, are you in this thing or what?
You starting to doubt my commitment to Sparkle Motion. So if anyone doesn't know the backstory, there was a guy called Satan Loves, and his main point of the whole show was about trolls, that when people are watching, for example, social media, everybody says, do this, do that, I want this. And then if there's a problem, they never take accountability and they say, you're bad, you're this. And we were making fun of how whenever we have a problem, instead of taking accountability and responsibility for our own actions, we blame other things. So that's what Satan is for, to blame. It's all his fault. But in return, he gets your frickin' soul. So he was living, the backstory was, it went on for 10 years, this backstory. He was my best friend. He wanted to be with me all the time. He called our relationship the tripod because it was my girlfriend, me, and him. And he set up his tent in the corner with his crayons and G.I. Joe and aircraft carrier, and he made a list of what we had to do every day, and he used to interrupt the show. He would even interrupt the show before I started the show. So if anyone's ever interested, all of that is available on all of my old episodes for free. Everything I do is for free. And if you'd like to help me pay the bills and the strings and stuff like that, thank you to Pat, who got me a pack of strings a couple months ago. Thank you. Anyway, here's the show, and Satan Loves.
Dude, it's not cool, man.
Well, I'm on holiday today. Yesterday I worked 18 hours straight, and then came home and edited the show, and then I started today's show like 5 minutes before. I'm all tired and screwed up. I hardly got any sleep. And you changed the theme song, man, without like me even. Oh, not again.
My name's Bass Guy. You know, just forget it. You know what? Let's move on. Let's put this behind us and forget it ever happened, okay?
So the old show was fun, and we had skits, and I made it really interactive, and there was about 100 characters that would call in. Everyone called in as an alter ego, and we made graphics, and sometimes they would phone me on my real phone, and they'd say, tomorrow I'm going to call, and I'm going to pretend I'm on a train, and then the train will crash and blow up. So that night I would put on my soundboard, which I got here, I put on sound effects of a train and explosion, and I did it all live. So people would call in with this big crazy adventure, and I'd have sound effects, and there's tons of old episodes all there. It was a lot of work, and it was a lot of fun. It was basically like Saturday Night Live. We were performing everything live in one take, and it wasn't edited. If it was edited, it was edited live, and a lot of people got involved, and it was fun. And the audience used to participate a lot and offer and do things. Like, here's a commercial, here's an audio track, here's a joke, here's a $10 tip because I watched your show 300 times in a row. Stuff like that, you know? It's fun. Don't get all dark on us, Satan.
What?
Don't get all dark on us, you know? We want to stay positive.
You haven't seen dark.
And yes, it's the South Park Devil, and we had that theme, but we developed our own graphics and everything later. So this is 10 years ago today. Oh well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our good buddy Satan. He's really temperamental, is that the right word? He gets upset really easily, you know, depending on his environment.
Sometimes in this life, all I have to say today is that sometimes you gotta be a little tough. You gotta be a little bit tough. No more Mr. Nice Guy. You gotta blow those leaves, you gotta rake up that gravel. Thing up right away.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Weather Guy. There he goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's Weather Guy live in St. Anne Bellevue, cleaning up the village. Wow, today's show is just so exciting. Hello, Bass Guy, you're live on the air. Hello?
Dude, I'd like to order 4 extra large pizzas, man.
So this is just a coincidence. This is the only time Tom called in as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this is my brother Thomas, who passed away last year at the age of 45. And this is him calling in 10 years ago today when he was 35. So when we make jokes and document things and take pictures and have fun and be silly, it's alchemy. It turns into gold. This is a recording of my brother, which I can never see him ever again. And this is us having fun and being positive on the planet Earth, making people happy. We used to get letters in from people that were going through hard times, and they got through the night by watching our show. Because I used to, you know, I'm live every Friday now, but I used to be live 11 times a week. I was live Monday to Friday in the day and the night, and then the Sunday I did a church show. So we were out there helping people, each other.
But definitely no anchovies this time, because last time you gave me anchovies, that was awful, man.
Sorry about that.
And
let's not let the flying monkeys get away with anything, Em.
Oh, sorry, who is this, man?
This is Bass Guy. You're live on the air. We're broadcasting to...
Dude, I'm so sorry, Bass Guy. Holy cow! It's Michelangelo.
Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, totally. I thought I was calling the pizza place, man. How you doing, bass guy?
Good, and yourself?
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, me and the dudes are just having some time off. We just defeated Shredder once again, so taking a little R&R, man. Just kicking back. I thought I'd order some pizzas, man.
Wow, that's good, man.
So what's been happening, bass guy?
So what do you want on your pizzas? I got food in my oven and refrigerator, and I got muffins. What do you want?
Oh, dude, I like absolutely everything on my pizzas, but definitely not anchovies. They're
You
gross.
don't like anchovies, no?
No anchovies. Ugh. They're disgusting, man.
Yeah, I can
I don't
understand
know
that.
anybody
So,
likes anchovies.
yeah,
Don't tell anyone, but I think Raph sort of likes them. He's weird.
Raph
You know what
likes
I
them.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
cool, man.
So
That's
I-
awesome.
So I hear you did your first gig in a while, eh?
Yeah, I had my first gig in the city of Montreal. The main reason I wasn't gigging is because of my back operations. I had to I was in denial, and I had to stop working for 2 or 3 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and how'd it go, man?
It went well. It was cool. It was like a Tuesday, so it was nice and relaxed. That's Satan trying to call in again. He's
That's cool.
yeah.
Oh, Satan.
So it was a
man.
good gig,
Oh,
thanks. It was
like
fun,
him.
you know. But I kind of missed the show. I'm really enjoying this show. You know, we're having fun, and we just had weather guy come right through the window. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't, man. I was too busy practicing with Sensei.
Your
Master
sensei, yeah?
Splinter. Yeah,
Wow.
Master Splinter. Do you know Master Splinter?
Master Splinter. You guys live underground, don't you?
Yeah, we live in New York. We live in the sewers.
Little kid. I learned how to draw the face.
Oh, cool, dude. We do have cool faces.
You do, yeah. So what are you up to today then?
I take it your favorite face was mine, yeah?
Yeah, of course, Michael. There's Satan trying to phone again. He's trying to take up the airwaves. He can't take a hint, you know. If I tell him I need some time, I need some space, you know, I'm busy doing the show, he flips. I mean, I got the list here. What is today? It's Wednesday. Oh shit, we're supposed to bake cakes today. I forgot all about that. And then we're gonna watch the entire series of Jerry Springer. We're like on season 3 already.
Season 3 of Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know what that is, man.
Jerry Springer, it's a political debate show with some of the world's leading minds get together and discuss social compatibility.
Oh, dude,
There's Satan
bored.
again. Yeah, it was boring, eh?
Yeah. Unless it's from the 80s, I'm not interested, dude.
Oh wow. Hey, I got a line in on Larry. Hey Larry, can you block Satan's number, because he just keeps calling and I can't concentrate on the show here. So Larry is going to make you a pizza. We have some fajita wraps.
Definitely no anchovies, though.
We got fajita wraps. We're going to
Definitely
use that as
fine.
the base, and then we're going to put on some. I got pasta sauce, and I'm going to cut some hot dog.
I'm going to tell you something. There's a couple of buildings here that I'm not really sure what they are, but I know there's a recycling factory. Paper, cardboard. I think it's called Kruger, right where I stand.
Love you, John. Love you, buddy.
Thank you for calling the Base Guy Shoe Help Desk. If you are having troubles with your stream, please press the letter Y then the following code 1232145 uppercase 3 penguin. If you would like to wish Chicky Mickey a happy birthday, please press pound cake. You have chosen to wish Chicky Mickey a happy birthday. To send Chicky Mickey a sunset scope, please log into Periscope and wait for the sun to set in your area. If you chose to send Chicky Mickey money, blink. You have chosen to send Chicky Mickey $7,415. Thank you for calling the Base Guy Shoe Help Desk. Please hold for survey.
John used to be judged by his friends as intimidating, overactive, pretentious, righteous, and snobby. Yeah, I used to be into real kind of stupid things, like reading books, philosophy, reason, critical thinking, invention, and original creation. So all my friends, they would just push me away, and I just never seemed to fit in. But once I started to use Facebook and communicate with cliche quotations on pictures of sunsets and kittens, my popularity went right through the roof. Before it was all boring stuff like years of research, independent thought, and nature. But after learning how to avoid reality and post compulsive positivity, I'm a real hit with the in-crowd. Yep, no more cruel deep thoughts for this guy. I'm a changed man now. I'm a Facebook man. Baby photos, cute kittens on typewriters, funny one-liners. I'm a Facebook man. Disconnecting with nature and connecting with my
popular positivity rants
You're joking.
After all, the power of love will overcome all those itchy, annoying realists. But look, John just had toast for lunch. So
Thank
welcome
you for calling.
back to the shoe, even though we didn't go anywhere.
Sorry, just a second. There's a train coming. Hey! Yeah, switch the train to channel 17, please. Yeah, thank you.
We're just doing a little bit of rail work here as well. You know, like I don't make enough money on tips. We made $12 last month after working 400 hours a week. So I got a part-time like side thing at the rail tracks. I'm helping with the switches and trains going and stuff like that.
So let's hear it for Sky of the Universe. And let's hear it for John down the street, John Cocky. Hope you guys are both well down the street. I love you guys. I don't get out much. I haven't been down to St. Anne's in about a year and a half, so I got my reasons, and they're good. Sky of the Universe, Jack, I sent you a tip. Yes, every week Pat sends a tip, so thank you very much. Hear it for Pat. I usually get 2 tips a week, 1 or 2 tips. I know a lot of streamers probably get 300 or 400 tips a week. If everyone tipped 50 cents every week, whatever, we get about 200, 300, 400 views a week, and I get for about every 100 people I get 1 tip. So, and I got to pay for the wires and the strings and the computer. We need a new. I'm not even gonna go there. I don't care anymore. I do this for myself and for my friends that help me, like John down the street, John Cocky, and John Base 4001, Sensible Sam, Julie helped us get a computer. So thank you to the people that actually help, instead of the people that I know who live in the village and watch and never tip and never say hello, other than John Cocky, and just watch over and over and over again and spy and judge and social media and all that toxic, narcissistic, insecure bullshit. If I was going to watch someone 400 times in a row over a decade, I'd throw them I'd give them a G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. John, what can I do for you? What can I do for you tonight, John? Your request is my purpose. What can I do for you, John? I love you, John. I met John when I was about 4 years old, maybe 5 years old, and we played G.I. Joe together. And then we were breakdancing and cardboard and all the good old days. Amazing, amazing stuff. I even have, I can find a video of it because I'm pretty well organized here. At least I think I am. There's a video of Ministry of Truth with Velcro on guitar. Not many people know. My first gig I ever did was breakdancing when I was 10 years old, and Velcro was 20. Or I think I was 9 and he was 19. And the guys in the village did a rap song, like a MTV kind of thing. And I was breakdancing, and John was right beside me. So John and I were both breakdancing. And you know what? I can't find it for some reason. My brain's all over the place. I do know I have it, so just give me a second. I got a favorite list, and my favorites are like 3 million things. So it's all learning song stuff. So oh, here we go. I was in the wrong place. So here's the video, and I'm having problems with my Chrome browser. For some reason, my Chrome browser doesn't want to work. Oh, I didn't know you could see everything. Shit. I meant to go here. I'm supposed to hide my screen. I'm having trouble with my Chrome browser for some reason, so I'm going to use a thing called, I think it's called Braveheart or Brave or something like that. And I don't know what's wrong with my Chrome. So here's the breakdancing video, and at the very end, I think it's minute 4:20 something, you can see John and I. I'll turn the volume off for copyright. So here's the video, and that's the old extension. Yeah, we're doing Miles Davis. There's Mike in the village. Works at the... Anyways, I won't say details. And we got Velcro in this. So here, that's me. I'm pretty sure I got this down, John, because I studied it. That might be Jamie there. Or I think it was a a woman. We didn't know. That's John Cocky right there. So that's John Cocky in 19 something. I made a comment. I can't see the comments. So I'm doing a backspin. I think that's Ian Grant. And that's me, Jack Casey. And in the back here on guitar is Velcro. Velcro used to call our show all the time in 2014, 15, 16 until he passed away. And he used to call and pretend that he was in a helicopter and adventures and all that stuff. I had sound effects. So there's John Cocky. It's called The Ministry of Truth. So I'll play this scene again. This is the Brass. It burnt down. It was a bar where everybody by the boardwalk next to the Couche-Tard. It was a big bar called the Brass. I made a song called The Brass Is Gone instead of What's Going On. So there's me back spinning, and there's John Cocky, and John Cocky is body popping. Check him out. He's body popping on the left. I hope you can see the mouse. And then he jumps. Break it out. And there's John Cocky, and everyone jumped at the same time. And our town was a party town. There was biker gangs and rebel gangs and break dancers, and everyone else went outside and talked to each other. And let's have a listen, see what happens.
They start to spin. I said spin, they span, span, they spun. It was looking like the fun had just begun. Tunes were
there's John on the left, right there.
We all yelled break.
John, of course the Brass burnt down. Remember the swimmer in our village got hit by a car? A guy hit him and he died, and then all the cops came. And I was speaking to someone yesterday on my lawn because I don't go out much. I mind my own business, and it got to the conversation of like, what was your first music concert? And I said Huey Lewis, and it turned out the guy I was talking to opened up in the band Luba for Huey Lewis, and Steve. He met Stevie Ray Vaughan the next day, and it's a long story I wanted to tell. My first concert. I'm going to tell this story for John down the street since he's watching, and he's here. So John, the year was, I looked it up, it was August 25th, 1986. And I was 12 years old, and I was in love with Huey Lewis. This is before, well no, actually it was just after Back to the Future. But I had all their albums before that. And there was a thing called, you know, Jerry Park? I think it's Jarry. Everyone says Jerry, but it's Jarry Park. And there was a huge 3-day festival there. I didn't know because I was too young, but my brother Mike was older. He was like 16, 17, and he was hanging out with 18, 19 years olds, and it was like Dazed and Confused times 100. They were all doing drugs and cars and vans and girls, and so Mike and I went there. I can't remember, but I think we went there. Either we got a lift, and I didn't know what was going on. And those days, cars were like boats. They were huge, and people had Trans Ams and Camaros and Chevrolets and stuff, and they were like boats with couches on the back. And anyway, all I remember is we're at the concert, and I'm just obsessed with seeing Huey Lewis. I loved the band. And later on, I would end up playing Huey Lewis songs in a band. And it was a huge festival in the day, and it was Jeff Smallwood. He was in the band Luba. And he opened up for Huey Lewis and the News. I didn't know because I was 12 years old. And it was a huge concert. I remember as a couple 100,000 people everywhere. And there was other stages, and you could hear. So while Luba was playing, we could hear reggae coming from the right-hand side of us. And it was really hot, and my first time ever in a concert. And hundreds of thousands of people. And my brother ran into Shannon and Jason Cochran, I think. And there was a bunch of people, and they're all smoking marijuana. In those days, it was illegal, but who cares? And they all said, yeah, UB40 is next. Come listen to UB40. And my brother said, Jack, wait here. I just got to check it out. And my brother left, and then this 100 or 200,000 people ran in, and I got lost, and I was separated, and I was 12, and I just started crying because I lost my brother. My brother lost me. And then I'm crying, and the next thing, Huey Lewis starts, and the set list is online. That's what's incredible. So not only someone from St. Anne's was in the opening band that night that told me yesterday, they started playing the Heart of Rock and Roll. Doom, 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 doom. And then they played The Power of Love from Back to the Future, and I was just crying. And a good-looking couple, tall guy and beautiful guy and woman. I remember that they were young, nice people. The guy was tall. He says, "What's wrong, kid?" I said, "I lost my brother," and he held my hand and tried to help me. He said, "I'll put you on my shoulders. We'll try and find your brother." So he puts me on his shoulder, and I'm crying. And then the guy says, keep crying. And I'm like, what? He's like, keep crying because we're going to get to the front. And him and his girlfriend and I pushed our way right from the back, right to the front. And so I was just crying, and everyone was like parting a little bit because like the guy was like, had an excuse. He's like, this guy lost his brother. We're trying to find him. He's missing. And we got ourselves right to the front. And then we're watching The Power of Love, one of the most famous songs in the world. And Huey Lewis jumped down and ran out to the front, and he saw me, like, crying and being excited, whatever. And he high-fived me and grabbed me and, like, lifted me up and then said, right on. And he was singing The Power of Love and then ran away and did his thing. And I'll never forget that. But this is where the story gets even worse or better, depending which way you look at it. So the concert ended, and the couple was really nice. They just stayed there, and the guy let me stay on his shoulders, and the 100,000 people turned into like 45 people. And then my brother and his friends found me, and they thanked the guy or whatever. And then I remember quite well because it was traumatic in a good and bad way. You know, I saw my hero, Huey Lewis. So I used to listen to Huey on the first Sony Walkman all the time. I had all their albums. And so my brother's like, okay, they're all dazed and confused, druggy, stoner, reggae guys. They're like, we're going to go home now. I was like, well, are we going to take the bus? He's like, no, our friends are here. They're going to drive us home. So we're downtown at Jerry Park. Maybe, I don't remember where that is. Pat, you can tell me. And, yeah, I'm going to call Frankie right after this story. So I think there was 3 cars, and one was like a Camaro or something. It was like a hot rod. The other one was like poor, like Chevrolet. And there's these big cars, and they're just like on the grass. Like there was no rule. Well, there was less rules back then. And my brother's like, get in the back. And are you sure? And I'm like, we get in the back. And they're blasting like Led Zeppelin or whatever. And we're driving home, and they said, let's have a race. And so we're driving home, and then we drove through all the suburbs, and it's pretty far when you take the back roads from Montreal to St. Anne's. It's like a good 10, 20 miles. I forget how much, but, you know, it's a good 45-minute drive. And as we got closer to home, they started driving into back roads and going onto people's front lawns and then smashing the mailboxes or running them over. And it was total criminal. It was like they didn't kill anyone or anything, but they were like driving onto people's lawns, and I was bouncing all over the place and like laughing, farting, burping at the same time. And then my brother said, Jack, you can't tell mom and dad. So I can't remember what happened. I don't think I told anyone, because I told my mom like 20 years later, and she said, I didn't know about that. That's my mom. Love you, Mom. So that was my Huey Lewis story. So yesterday I was talking to a friend, not a friend, but a friend of friends. First time I ever actually met him formally. And he's like, yeah, I opened up at that gig. I was the guitarist in Luba, Jeff Smallwood. And so I looked it up, and sure enough, there was a set list. It was August 25th, 1988, so I'm not making up this shit. Isn't that a cool story? No one died. Everything was fine. Huey Lewis picked me up and put me down again. And I got the set list. They played Heart of Rock and Roll. This Is It. This is. And then years later, I went to Scotland, and there's a very famous musician called Dougie Martin. I never had a chance to tell anybody that I knew this because everyone just talks about themselves, and I never tell stories. So look, we got Frankie. Frankie's waiting outside the window. He's going to be calling in 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 15 minutes, Frankie's going to be calling. So years later, I moved to, and Doogie was friends with, I was joined this band with Doogie, and Doogie was a great singer. He had played, he he stayed in Scotland, and he just wanted to be a local working pub guy. But this guy, my friend Doogie, he played in a band called Mafia, and I was like bass player number 85 or something. They had been playing for 40 years. He knew Van Morrison and all these different people. He was friends with the Average White Band. My dad grew up around the Average White Band. And when I was in Mafia, Alan Gorey and I think another guy from the Average White Band, we played at a breast cancer benefit concert in Scotland, and my mom and dad were in the audience. I think my dad had a tear in his eye because I played Pick Up the Pieces with the guy that wrote it. It's in like 100 films. They're millionaires from the royalties. So I got to play an Average White Band, kind of, And Doogie from Mafia, you can see him on my page. There's a video on my front page, Mafia. That was the name of the band. He opened up for the Beatles in the Cavern. He hung out and talked to John Lennon and Paul and all that, and he opened up for the Beatles in the Cavern. And he also hung out in the London clubs and met Hendrix many times and saw Hendrix jamming and talked to him and had a pint. He had a pint with Hendrix and John Lennon and stuff. Not all the time, but when he was a kid and up and coming. And then I was in his band, and I had no idea at the time. I thought I was just in a band. I had no clue. My mind was, I want to be Jaco Pastorius and I'm going to play jazz. And then I realized how hard it was and I failed. It's not funny. So in this band, we ended up playing Huey Lewis and the News because Doogie loved Joe Cocker and Van Morrison, that male kind of raspy voice. And Huey Lewis is amazing. His voice is perfect, like the definition of perfect. So we ended up playing The Power of Love, Want a New Drug, and Back in Time. And then another story, which is related to my brother Tom, who just passed away through this guy's niece, which I don't want to talk about, which I have and will. I met a guy called Scott Robertson in Dunning, and we had a 9-hole golf course in a little village, like 1,000 people. And he was ex-PGA. He used to play golf all the time. And he and I hung out and were in a band, and like we played Mustang Sally and all that. And he used to teach Huey Lewis how to play golf. So there's all these weird things. And I remember the first time, John, I ever left Canada because Jamie died, when my first brother died. I moved to Scotland to be with Tom, who just died last year. And I've never been anywhere except for I went to Vancouver for a little while. And then I went to London, and I was in Heathrow on a Sunday. And we went to Westminster, where Mel Gibson, Braveheart, the movie, William Wallace, that's where he was crowned and killed and everything. I was in that church, and there was 10,000 people on the street. Millions of people. I was in London, from St. Anne to Bellevue, right to London, because my brother passed away. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. We had to wait 11 hours for a bus that was 9 hours to get to Dunning, Scotland. And I'm standing out in the street for about 2 hours with Mike, and we're just standing there, and someone goes, "Jack Casey!" Jack Casey! And I shit you not, what the fuck? And there's Eric Touchburn. He's in a play, and he's handing out leaflets to come see his play. I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, "Yeah, Jack, I'm in London." And we go into a bar to play pool, and in London, the balls are small, and they're like snooker balls. They're all red and white and yellow. Well, white ball, and there's a red ball and yellow balls. And I went to break, and the pub was full, and I was trying to be cool, and I'm used to playing pool at the Phoenix, at the pool hall. And I hit the cue, because I know how to play pool, but I hit it so hard that the ball went frickin' flying and almost broke a window, and everyone stopped. And that Eric Touchburn was in London. And then about 4 years later, because I used to travel a lot through playing music and love and music, I was in Amsterdam at the airport, and I'm walking through thousands of people, and we pass, well, it's an airport, so I get it, but there's Eric Touchburn's parents, and they're like, "Hey, Jack," and I'm like, "Hey," and I'm like, "I met your son in London." And I swear to God, these things happen all the time, and I never talk about it because people always turn things into, oh, it's a sign and it means something, and Venus and Uranus and Neptune, and it must mean something, and the planets. And maybe shit just happens, you know? Maybe it's not a big... So whenever something special happens, I never tell anyone, and I don't make a big deal of it. That's how I quit smoking. I just didn't tell anyone, ever, and I just quit. So there's some frickin' stories. It's time to call Frankie McDonald. We're going to take a 3 to 5 minute break. Thank you, Sky of the Universe, for being here. I don't usually tell stories like that, but the truth needs to come out. Yeah, baby. Could have been the year. Yeah, it was. Sorry, did I say 1988? It was 1986, because I was 12 and I'm 74. So the year I was born. Yeah. I saw some information. Yeah, that's it. There's information on that concert for some reason. It's 1986. I get things wrong all the time, but just go with me. So here's John Cocky and Jack
On his
breakdancing.
arm, but then she turned around and she saw Dawn. Whoa, bring it up!
And it's not working for some reason.
Well, he looked at her and she at him, and on the floor they start to spin. I said, spin, they span, span, they spun. It was looking like the fun had just begun.
Let's just watch the whole video. So here's a video of Friends, the Gossages, and Velcro, who was on our show for... Velcro was on our show for like 4 years straight. Him and I were best buddies. Here's the band. With St. Anne's.
We have returned. John Oakley, Keith Thomasek producing, and 5 guys and an entourage.
And this is the same time, like 1985, 86, whatever.
Here, the 5 guys out of the Ministry of Truth, from whom we have heard so far some music live in the studio. Not to be mistaken. Of course,
Anyways, that was for you, John. Love you, bud.
Just wonderful rearrangements primarily, but a number we have queued now sounds to me to be original. It's called Circuit Rap.
Yeah, Circuit Rap. Yeah. This is a story of St. Anne de Bellevue. I don't know if you know where that is, but
Can oddly happen to you in St. Anne de Bellevue?
This is the story of fear and loathing in St. Anne de Bellevue.
That sounds literate. What? The Circuit Rap. I mean, do you want to set it up any more than that, or do the lyrics pretty much explain it?
The lyrics are pretty well done.
Up at the press, I was looking at her, she was looking at my ass, and I took my time, had another beer, and I said to her, hey, come on over here. She said, hey, big macho man, are we going to the stitch where you hold my hand, where you open up the door and lead me across the street, take me upstairs and sweep me off my feet? Now bring it up!
So sorry if the volume is low. It's just a low volume. But that's Richard. Richard wrote most of the song. He told me in person. He's going ding, 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 ding. Most people, it's nothing wrong, but when people listen to songs, you take it all in and you hear it and feel it, but try to think about how you think. Like, think about how you think, and then think about how you think, like Carl Jung shadow work. So when you're listening to a song, listen to what the drum's doing and listen to the guitar. Ding, 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 and everyone's doing their little part. Like, be conscious of it. It's really beautiful. Velcro wrote this, I think.
We go upstairs, we start to dance. I was looking at her and I saw my chance. Tunes were turned and we started to twirl, and I knew I'd found my macho girl. Oh, well, the next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. and it's almost time to go home again. Bring it up!
I think it says at the end, and I think it's 1984. So let's just say 85. And I met the guy who produced the video. He sold Ryan's house. And Ryan came and got me, and I met him for 5 minit's. So it's such a cool story, man. And Velcro, man. Velcro was our friend Richard Cosgrove, and he was on the show all the time. And this is him on guitar.
Well, we head upstairs to Blee and Blaze. We start to drink cafe au lait. There's Tom and Ann, Bill and Dave, Zert and Pete, and in walked Clay. Macho girl on his arm, but then she turned around and she saw Dawn. Whoa, bring it up! Well, he looked at her and she at him, and on the floor they start to spin. I said spin, they span, span, they spun. It was looking like the fun had just begun. Tunes were turned and they started to shake, and all of a sudden we all yelled, break! Now break that up for us one time, come on now!
I'm going to play that again. That's Richard's solo. He recorded it backwards and all that kind of like MTV, like 80s thing. That's Velcro on the guitar. So this is the thing, like Pat, my friend Sky of the Universe, agrees with me. When I'm it's nothing to do with me or whatever, but when I'm doing photography and video and music and filming and clipping and doing the show, and all my life I've got a huge box still of tape cassettes. I'm documenting and trying to this is before YouTube. We're trying to like document everything. This is a big production, but it's collecting everything and re-showing it and reminding. And a lot of the people that are on these things, they're not alive anymore. And I'm talking right now, and I'm on the computer, and you're on the computer, and we won't be alive one day. We'll be dead, as they say in Scotland. You'll be dead. And other people will be watching. So you think, oh, yeah, it's cool. But to me, when you take things like books, video, art, photography, and we share it and we document it and we show it, it's worth more than all the money in the world.
Bring it up now!
It's the opposite of just being silly and what are you doing and why are you doing that? You know, it's fucking gold, man.
Upstairs to Blee and Blaze, we start to drink cafe au lait. There's Tom and Ann, Bill and Dave, Zert and Pete, and in walked Clay. A macho girl on his arm, but then she turned around and she saw Dawn. Whoa, bring it up! Well, he looked at her and she at him, and on the floor they start to spin. I said spin, they span, span, they spun. It was looking like the fun had just begun. Tunes were turned and they started to shake, and all of a sudden we all yelled, break!
Where's Frankie? Oh, I'm so sorry that Frankie isn't on right now this instant for you. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. Sorry. Hey, Larry, you got to work harder for free. You got to do 35 years of music and do video and content and photography and have Frankie and show. You got to do better. Hello.
Step. So yeah, we are Shane Doug, and this is Benoit Willinston.
What am I hearing here? Oh no, the show's going cattywampus. Frankie. There we go. Frankie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Frankie MacDonald! Frankie! Hey Frankie, how's it going, bud?
I'm doing great, so but there's a lot of rain heading from Montreal tomorrow and Halifax and Sydney, Nova Scotia tomorrow night.
How much rain are we talking about, Frankie?
50 to 100 millimeters of rain in Sydney, Nova Scotia tomorrow night.
That's a lot of rain.
That means it could even affect the people going to karaoke because of so much rain. Then there could be less people going to karaoke because due to the rain tomorrow night in Sydney, Nova Scotia.
People are asking, where's Frankie? We want Frankie now. Frankie, happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, I'm 41 years old.
41 years old. How was your birthday yesterday? Tell us the whole story.
That means I had an ice cream cake yesterday and things like this from Dairy Queen. I'm having Swiss chalet bacon cheeseburger tomorrow for dinner.
So every year, Frankie has a Dairy Queen ice cream cake. Do you go to Dairy Queen?
They get the Dairy Queen and head home on Thursday. Things are going great so far. Did you hear about this? I'm having a great day. Things are going really well on my side. I had a great birthday and things like this. When I was working at the Mayflower Mall today, I had Eastside Mario's pizza for dinner. It was great.
Oh, that's amazing, Frankie. And of course, Pat, don't worry about it. It's fine. There's never any pressure to do.
And hold on.
Who are you talking to now, Frankie?
That means I'll say hi to Sky Universe, to Pat, and I'll say hi Ryan Hector, hi Gary Browse, Music Entertainment.
So me too, Frankie. I'm adjusting a few things and fixing a few things. I've changed all the software and the setup of the show, and I forgot to get the Frankie MacDonald little logo here, so we'll put it up here. So, Frankie, what's the weather in North America this weekend?
That means a lot of rain in eastern North America, including Maine, USA, Massachusetts, New York, Sydney, Nova Scotia on Saturday night. Heaviest rain's going to take place Saturday overnight and the Sunday morning in the afternoon. Then the rain's going to transition over to showers on Sunday evening in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Same with Halifax and New Brunswick and Bonaventure, Quebec, and Monica Boy was at in Montreal and all those places. In Toronto, they're getting a lot of rain all across the entire eastern Canada and USA. Western Canada is really dry right now, and it's going to get more snow up in somewhere in Manitoba next week. And I heard there's lots of rain in Japan right now, too, in Asia. And lots of rain heading for New Zealand next week in Southern Hemisphere autumn right now, down New Zealand.
So would you say that the fight between winter and spring is still on in some places?
Yes. Winter and fall in New Zealand.
Frankie, can you see the chat board now?
I don't see the chat board yet.
Can you see my camera? Oh yeah, you can't for some reason, eh? So let me fix that 1 second. Sorry, Frankie, I was virtual camera. Oh yeah, I got to start the virtual camera. I forgot, Frankie. I've been freaking out on music. You're going to see me in a second. Thank you, Sky of the Universe, for reminding me to fix that. We're always fixing the microphones and stuff like that. So OBS virtual camera, stop the virtual camera, start. It should pop up soon. For some reason, it's a little bit slow finding it. So, Frankie, you had a great birthday party and you went to the pubs and the bars and stuff?
Yes, I was at Dooley's tonight and things are great so far.
Okay, so for some reason, you can't see my video. I don't know why that is. So, it's okay if we try to fix things. Frankie, how did you get the invite? The invite was through
email.
Email. Yeah, I've got it set to OB. I can see what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, and it's not working. That's all. I can go to Streamlabs. That won't work in OBS. Let's do what we did last week. I think I have to start the virtual camera before you call. So hang up and call right back immediately, Frankie.
Yeah.
Please. Look how good Frankie is. He does it straight away. So I think I got to start the virtual camera before he calls. And that's what happened last time. Okay, Frankie, so you're there. I can see you.
Yes.
And we'll see if we can get the OBS virtual camera working. So mute my... Yeah, because I want Frankie to see, but For some reason, he can't see the chat. I'll read it to you. We have Frankie M. Hey, Frankie, happy birthday from Jack M.
Yes, happy birthday. Thanks.
Sam Baker says, Frankie, please do the tornado siren. Perfect. And I'll do the there you go, Sam Baker. And Gary Bow's Music says he's very good at the tornado. People love the tornado siren. How come, Frankie?
And yeah, that means I started that in 2020 during COVID lockdown.
It reminds me of the joke of the Fishy Fish song from CKUT, Radio Free Vestibule, John down the street. Can you say hi to John Cockey?
Hi, John Cockey. I'm doing great.
And Sky of the Universe, of course. He's here.
Hi, Sky Universe Pat. I'm doing great so far.
So let's try to fix this problem. For some reason, my virtual camera is not working. So maybe, wait, let me stop the thingy here. And it should be working. I don't know why it's not working, Frankie. That's why we need to do our tests. I've been too busy lately, Frankie, to do the tests. I don't understand why it doesn't work.
You're so busy working on other music.
Yeah, working on music and wires and setting up and learning songs and changing strings and then software, and we'll get there eventually. It's okay if we have some problems once in a while.
Because you're so busy on Monday.
Yeah, so busy. Oh, there we go. You can see it.
Yeah. I can see you there.
You can see it now, Frankie, yeah?
I'm showing you Charlotte Street in Sydney.
I don't think it's me. I think it's just the software. I hit the button and nothing happens, and then I hit it again and then it works. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Charlotte Street in Sydney, Nova Scotia. They just recently dug up this road. It's a brand new street. Like the street in front of me is a brand new street. They dug up my street as well. And you get free Wi-Fi in that area, right?
Yeah, things are going great so far.
That's
I did
good.
you hear about this? It's just a man. How was your day? Just imagine somebody for hosting a nightclub was I mean.
What's all that noise, Frankie?
It's the father for hosting a nightclub.
Yeah, there's a bouncer at the door, and the son comes home, and the guy goes, "Can I see your ID, please?" He's like, I live here, man." He's like, "This is a nightclub now. Your dad broke down. He couldn't handle the lockdown of coronavirus, so he took the family credit card. He went to Home Depot. He bought black paint, painted the whole house black, and got a disco ball and a sound system. We got bartenders, and this is a nightclub now." And then someone called the police. Nina, Nina, Nina. Sir, are you the owner of this house?
Yes.
Is this a residential or a commercial area?
Residential area.
Okay. Do you have a license for this, sir?
No.
You're under arrest. You're coming with me.
Then the son wakes up in the morning and he'll say, "Mom, what happened?"
He says, "Son, your father, blah, 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 spent all the money. Your father and I are getting
divorce."
Are you going to tell this joke on your world tour, Frankie?
Yes. That means when the son goes to visit his dad in jail last Sunday in a month, the guard will say,
"Time's up." He only gets to visit his dad on the last Sunday of each month for 1 hour, and then the guard says, "What does
"Time's up."
Are you having fun so far tonight, Frankie?
Yes, I'm having fun so far. Just imagine a guy was driving a monster truck down the street. You're not supposed to be on the road. A guy was driving a monster truck down the George Street in Sydney. What's that mean?
You can't be driving a big monster truck when there's people all around. The police will stop him.
Police will say,
"Sir, what are you doing driving around like a crazy idiot? You're under arrest."
"He's revving up the maximum RPM." What does that mean?
Vroom, vroom, vroom. You're making noise. There's big smoke coming out of the exhaust, Frankie. There's black smoke everywhere.
It's a monster truck revving up the maximum RPM. What does that mean?
The police say, "Sir, put your hands behind your back. You're coming with us."
Where he be going?
I love this, Frankie. No one knows what we're doing. It's just you and I having fun. Everyone's like, do a tornado, Frankie. Hey, Frankie, do a tornado. No one's actually listening to what we're doing or saying. They're just like, do a tornado, Frankie. Hey, Frankie, do a tornado. I'll do a tornado too.
Just imagine guy was driving a Bugatti 300 kilometers per hour down on George Street, where we police will say,
Sir, you're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. You're going to jail.
What does that mean?
Hey, Frankie, do a tornado siren, but do it like really. No. Do it really half-assed. Like, do it like you don't care. Like, So anytime someone asks you, like, hey, man, play Mustang Sally, just go.
Back in 5 years ago during the lockdown, and if they had a vaccine for that, they have to have a huge lineup back then. Limited quantity of vaccines. You have to be there.
Oh, I remember in our area, Frankie, they ran out of medicine and needles and stuff, so they had to use the bucket change method.
Say bucket change.
Bucket change, aisle 5. So the pharmacist had a bucket, and it was an enema, so they did the coronavirus. Frankie invented this joke. And what did the pharmacist yell out?
Bucket change.
Bucket change in aisle 5. Hey,
then
that's
the sewers will blow up. That means the sewers will back up. All the main home covers will go boom, 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 boom.
Do you remember, Frankie, during the coronavirus, the first thing that happened is everyone's going to die, and it's just like everyone's going to die, basically. It's the end of the world. The first thing that happened was all the toilet paper disappeared.
And did you hear about this? I got something to say, but they had the borders are closed to all non-essential travel. Only essential travel allowed.
It's these small things, Frankie, that tell a big story. I went to the Beiderfe Provigo, which I went to since the 70s, and I went there, and I didn't even know what was happening. I wasn't watching the news, and I go to the toilet paper, and the whole aisle is empty. And then I'm looking at my phone, and coronavirus is breaking out. And then I realized that a bunch of people with money came to the supermarket and bought 27 packs of toilet paper for themselves. And then I thought, wow, you greedy bastard. You go to the store, like 10 people buy all the toilet paper for you so that you can have the toilet paper and not share with anybody else. That was the first thing I thought, that people are actually assholes. So, bucket change. Aisle 7, bucket change, Frankie.
Did you hear about this? When the coronavirus lockdown happened, and if they come up with a coronavirus vaccine, they have to have big, huge lineup. They have to have the army there and a helicopter.
The army was there. Frankie, you and I made a video about that. Should I show a little bit of the video?
Yeah.
Okay, so you tell the people about the video while I look it up. So tell the people how we made the video. Do you remember the blues song we made together about the sergeant?
Like the sergeant screaming.
So Frankie made up this joke, and then Frankie sent me the footage, and he said, you got to make a video about this. So Frankie and I made a video for MTV, and this is what it looked like. So just give us 1 minute, Frankie.
I wrote the song Coronavirus Blues. It is by Bass Guy Show and Frankie McDonald. Hear about that? Just imagine if they found a drug or treatment for COVID-19, like a remdesivir. What happens? They found it, and if it works great, they have to have the drugstore. They have to.
What's so funny? We're having fun here today. Frankie's. We're just gonna laugh today, everybody.
Military will be there. Sergeant will be there.
One of our viewers is saying that Frankie's laugh gives me life. The line will be so long, Frankie. It'll be 19.5 kilometers long to get the vaccine at your local drugstore.
The army will be there. sergeant will be there. Get him out! And after that, me at each drugstore, and I'm sending you a video about that.
So that was amazing, Frankie, when you sent me the video, and you remember that, eh,
3
Frankie?
years later, the lightning struck near your house on July 28, 2023.
That's right. We had lightning that struck the house while we were doing the show. The lightning bolt hit right on my front lawn, and I jumped out of my seat.
Lightning struck near your house on July 28, 2023.
What other epic moments did we have? Once the bass gang, the people that watched the show, they delivered a car to my front lawn. That happened. That was weird. That was amazing.
Yeah.
The old bass gang.
Yes, and then you drove to Sydney, Nova Scotia for my book launch in 2018.
Yep, we went and met Frankie in person. You and I hung out together, Frankie, in real life.
Yeah.
We're real life friends.
And that means to just imagine that when Monica worked for Bell door to door back then, the old man will tell her, will say,
"Stop knocking at the door and trying to sell me stuff. I'm trying to watch The Price is Right." The dog's going, "Woof, woof, woof."
The old man will say, "Look, Drew Carey's on TV."
We're always doing these jokes and having fun, Frankie, and talking about the weather, and people just come on and go, "Do a tornado siren." Oh, man. So, Frankie, what are your plans tonight? What are you going to do after the show tonight?
Heading to Free Club and Doolies and things like this.
And
Just
tomorrow?
imagine a guy was walking down the street, the guy fell down a mountain and go boom, 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 boom.
Oh, no, and he hurt his knee. He's got a bad knee, so he went to the hospital. He's like, "Doctor, I have a bad knee."
That's it, in the garbage.
The doctor says, "I've had enough. I got no time. Throw him in the garbage."
The guy took a picture of himself using a smartphone.
Oh,
Sent it to text to 911 and say, "I'm in the dumpster back in the hospital." Send the police and the fire department now.
And then what did the police do when they come to the hospital?
Doctor,
are you the guy that threw the guy in the garbage?
Yes.
Why'd you throw him in the garbage?
I'm just too busy.
Sir, you're coming with me. You're under arrest.
What does that mean?
Can I show a bit of that video, Frankie, of the guy in the
Yeah.
garbage? I forget what it's called. Wait, it's put him in the garbage. I could never show videos before because the computer.
Hi, Austin.
The computer was never powerful enough. Oh yeah, here it is. So here's Frankie McDonald's original joke.
Guys driving the bike.
See, everyone's just saying, "Who's there, Frankie?"
A guy fell down the mountain and go boom, 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 boom.
Okay, so we'll show the video. Here's A Guy in the Garbage by Frankie McDonald. Instead of just, "Where's Tornado?" Here's Frankie doing, if I can find it. There's too much stuff going on. Guy in the Garbage by Frankie McDonald. Here you go. Listen, Frankie.
Remember that? When the guy driving the bike, what happens the guy's driving the bicycle, what happens if he fell down the mountain? He goes, boom, 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 boom. The guy starts to cry, go, then the ambulance go, Then they have to go to the emergency. The ambulance take him to the emergency room at the hospital. The doctor will say, "Okay, doctor, this guy's all broken up. Time to put him in the garbage can, throw him in the back of the dumpster, back of the hospital." Then the police will show up at the hospital, go, They say, "Doctor, turn around, put your hands behind your back. You can't be throwing people in the garbage. Or you just fell down a mountain." Then they have to get the crane guy, lift the guy out of in the dumpster. His wife is going to be mad at him. Doctor will be going to jail. Doctor will be interrogated by the police first. Then doctor have to go to court, sentence doctor to prison. Then jailers will go. Doctor will be in jail. His wife will tell the guy that was in the dumpster back of the hospital, say, "You need a shower. Get in the shower. Get in the bath and wash it."
And with the weather out there and the snow and everything, like there's tons of snow outside, you gotta salt the steps. You gotta shovel with your heft, because if you fall down the steps,
Then the ambulance go, They say, "Okay, doctor, this guy's all broken up. Throw him in the garbage."
the doctor would be in so much trouble that all the media would come. Like everybody would be filming
Hello
him.
to my dad. I'm doing great so far.
Okay, so hello to Frank McDonald. We have Frankie McDonald's dad here. Want to say another message to your dad, Frankie?
I'm doing great so far to my dad.
We have Austin Wiesinger. Can you say it? Austin?
Hi, Austin Wiesinger.
Can you see the chat too, Frankie, now?
Yes. I will say hi to movie actor Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So I made the show, the scenery, the thing that you see, like all the different views, like this and that. The chat is so big so that Frankie can see it in the show when he calls us to make it a little bit easier. So Frankie, are we having fun again so far?
Yes, I'm having fun so far. I did you hear about this? Where was a guy who was driving a monster truck down George Street in City, revving up the maximum RPM and go.
There's a lot of guys like that now, eh? A lot of people who are insecure and have small anatomy features in certain places, so they have big
I'm talking
trucks.
about this time a monster truck is not allowed to be on the road. It's the guy revving up the maximum RPM in the monster truck.
Why are there guys with big huge trucks all of a sudden everywhere?
I'm talking about monster trucks not fit to be on the road.
Okay, not fit to be on the road. Hey, you're not allowed to have a Tesla in Europe because they're too big. The streets are small in Europe. They're
Just
not
imagine a
crazy.
guy revving him up the monster truck to maximum RPM. That means the police will say, "Monster truck driver,
You're under arrest. You're coming with us." So Frankie, have you been doing dancing when you go to the nightclubs? You dance a lot?
Yes, the things like this, and dancing things like this. Did you hear about this? I had a great birthday and things like this.
Happy birthday again, 41, just a number. To Gary. Can you say hi to Gary?
Hi, Gary. I'm doing great so far.
And some guy called Frank McDonald. Who's he?
My dad.
Of course he is. And you're not dealing drugs, are you, Frankie?
No.
Okay. You're just hanging out in the street. Amazing. Where else can people see you? Whose other shows are you on every week, Frankie?
I'm on Daisy Rampage Show. It's like Heather Wells is the host of Daisy Rampage Show, and the co-host is Roger Wildchild Show. And I'm on Nancy Rogers Show. And I'm on Gino's podcast. I'm on Joe Yonley's show. I'm on Ham Radio with Eddie Fanaco as well. I'm on Jason Marshall, We Don't Have Cookies podcast and things like this.
Well, you say hi to Joey Only for me, okay? You tell him Bass Guy said hi.
I say hi to Joey Only, the host of Meteorological Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic.
Do you remember the band Huey Lewis and the News?
Huey Lewis and the Blues, it's a band.
They were the music in Back to the Future. Gotta get back in time. Dum, 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 back in time.
Biff Tannen was a bully in Back to the Future.
And Flea, the bass player from Red Hot Chili Peppers, he was in Back to the Future Part 3. Or 2, I think.
And yes, the teacher here was a Biff Tannen is a bad guy in Back to the Future Part 2. Once they burned at Alamac, Biff Tannen went from rich to poor.
I'm trying my best, Frankie, in Sky the Universe. I do have a bad back. I got spinal damage. It hurts to keep going. I never talk about it, but man, the pain. What should people do, Frankie, to make life better?
That means you have to watch my videos and things like this.
Exactly. Your dancing videos and how many views do you have in total? Do you know?
307,000 views, grand total of my YouTube channel.
That's amazing. No, 307,000 subscribers, right?
Yes, I got over 40 million views, grand total.
40 million views. That's crazy, Frank. That's almost 500 million views. I think you'll get to 1 billion views by the time you hit 50.
And did you hear about this? Just imagine a guy was driving a Corvette down the street, revving up the maximum RPM down George Street, revving up the maximum RPM. The police will say,
"Sir, you're under arrest. Do you have a license to be driving like a freaking idiot?"
That guy's a clown.
You're a clown. Honk honk. They put him in jail, and then he's in jail with the guy who put the guy in the garbage, the doctor, and he's in jail with the guy from the nightclub, and they're listening to Huey Lewis and the News in the jail, and he happens to know the guy from down the street.
And on the highway, up around the Highway 20 in East, in Montreal, a guy was driving 400 kilometers an hour on Highway 20, out of Route 20, which the police will say,
"Sir, you're under arrest for being a clown." See, Frankie, we're having fun. We're being ourselves. We're doing our own thing. We're being authentic. We don't care about
That
what,
guy
what,
will
you
say, the DJ Ripple said, that guy will say, I'm just doing that for YouTube. What happens if he posted his video on YouTube, guy doing 400 kilometers per hour on Auto Route 20 in Quebec?
Frankie,
what happens if he posted on his YouTube channel?
Well, on that note, Frankie, listen to this. This is 40 seconds long. See if you remember this.
You had a car. What kind of car would you get?
Yeah. Super fast. That means I would driving 1,000 kilometers per hour. How fast that would be?
You're gonna get a car that drives 1,000 kilometers per hour.
How fast that would be?
That'd be super fast. What if you hit a bump on the road?
Go boom.
And the car would flip over, yeah, but you'd be okay because your car would be so good it would protect you.
Do you remember that, Frankie?
Yes, I remember that.
Good job, Frankie. I only have 15 subscribers. Let's hear it. Everybody go follow Gary Bowes Music. He's got 15 subscribers. Let's get him some more. Hey, I tell you what, numbers, views, validation, approval, comparing, identification to form, it doesn't mean anything.
A lot of clams, they're not interested in YouTube.
Just enjoy your life, be happy, be nice, and if someone pisses you off, pee in a cup and throw it at them. Gary, you're great, man. We love Gary. Can you say hi to Gary again, Frankie?
Hi, Gary. I'm doing great so far.
Gary Bowes Music and Entertainment. Go follow him. So, Frankie, we're going to end things up. Is there anything you want to say before you go tonight?
Best of luck to you. I'm Frank Down. You're listening to the Bass Guy Show.
Thank you, Frankie. Love you, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie
Is this even real? Baloney. I need a meal. Baloney. Where am how? Baloney. What am why? Baloney. Where are we? Then it's gotta be real. If you want it to move, then it's gotta groove. If you wanna get high, real life is something to try. So sing about real life. All your pains, problems, and strife. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. But who am I to judge?
this reality smudge. The secret to appeal. It's gotta be real. So say it like it is. And be a conscious whiz. It's called the real deal. So let it be your next meal. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. We're all gonna die. Oh no.
Where are we? What who-wham? Are we even here?
Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich. Reality sandwich.
Where are we?
We used to have a 7-Up sign just like that.
Somewhere over Gatineau, dreams come true.
rainbow, dolphin, kiss. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin, kiss. This is a song about being positive. 1, 2, positive. 1, 2, keeping it real. Won't let anything or anyone get me down. No trolls. 22, positive. Feelings are what we get when the sun and the rain make the flowers wet. A bluebird winked at me today. God's just saying this is the way. A baby hedgehog tucked in a ball. Love as her blanket, cozy and small. Puppies rolling down the meadow greens. Kittens purring like tiny love machines. And the crown's golden sun shine down on us. Growing all things tall and just. Fruits of the tall free trees. Fallen food gravities, mysteries. Liquid house, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Liquid colors, a fountain mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss. Mist. Moonbeam, rainbow, dolphin kiss.
fountain mist, moonbeam rainbow, dolphin kiss, liquid colors of fountain mist, moonbeam rainbow, dolphin kiss, liquid
Thanks for
colors
watching, everybody.
of
Have a good night.
fountain
Base
mist,
Dad loves you. No fear.
moonbeam rainbow, dolphin kiss, liquid colors of fountain mist, moonbeam
$15. Thank you for calling the Base Guy Shoe Help Desk.